For decades, the goal in property management was simple: more doors. But the ground is shifting beneath our feet. A wave of exponential change, driven by artificial intelligence, new client expectations, and a volatile market, is making the old rules obsolete. So, what's the new playbook? Today, we're going to piece together a new vision for the future of property management. We'll explore why past technology has let us down, how the very definition of a good business is changing, what a truly modern company structure looks like, and finally, how to understand the powerful new AI agents that are making it all possible. This is your guide to moving from a task manager to a trust builder, and from a service provider to an asset owner. Welcome to the Property Management Framebreakers podcast. I'm your host, Pablo Gonzalez, and I am here to introduce you to the folks in the property management space that have broken the frame of what you may believe was possible. This podcast is presented by Vendoroo. It is your all-in-one AI solution for resolving your maintenance needs. Let's go. The first step in building a new playbook is admitting that the old one just wasn't working. For years, property managers have been promised solutions by software that more often than not just created more problems. The promise of efficiency was replaced by the reality of endless data entry and communication black holes. The core issue wasn't the task itself, but the missing story, the crucial context that software could never seem to grasp. Dave Norman states, "Primary shortcoming is that software doesn't think like me."
Yeah. Maintenance, I joke around sometimes to say maintenance is actually easy. It's managing communications and context that is extremely difficult. I wanted to think like me, consider the resident, consider the owner, consider the vendor. I wanted to make the best decision. I wanted to realize that the handyman can do that and not a plumber. I wanted to give me accurate information. I wanted to give me details. I wanted to give me the story behind the status. And I always talk about that, the story behind the status, right? It's like, oh, it's scheduled. But is it scheduled in a time frame that meets the needs of the owner, vendor, and property manager, right? It's pending. Pending what?
Yeah.
There could be 1,000 different things that it's pending, right? It's completed. But is the resident satisfied? The Excel list has just become prettier and prettier and prettier in the form of a dashboard, right? But really what we're doing is we're looking at these lists, and the reason why there's such heavy human reliance on it is the need to dig and access information and to be able to yell from one, team member to the other team member, "Hey, I'm working on that job. Tell me what's going on." Like, that's how we're transferring information. Lark chats, Slacks, text messages, because it's the information in the work order that we struggle to see.
A prettier spreadsheet, a fake security blanket. That's a powerful indictment of the tools we've been given. So if the tools have failed to solve the problem, maybe the goal itself needs to be re-examined. The traditional aim of endlessly scaling your door count is becoming an increasingly fragile strategy, especially when you consider the massive external forces now putting pressure on the entire industry. I believe that property management is profoundly changing in a rapid way because of the three giant context shifts that have all collided. That's a context shift everybody's in. Moore's law, that happens. Right now, we're under AI law. AI doubles in power every 6 months. The other two changes that are less obvious are the affordability crisis, the stratification of wealth has made it so now there's a giant target on it, right? Like, there's the war on profit. Then the other big change is the generational wealth transfer. Boomers are in the middle of this 17-year transferring their wealth to their children, millennials and Gen Z. And I'm the oldest of the millennials, right? I'm 44. I have a really hard time accepting that there isn't an app for everything. An exponential rate of technological change, a new generation of clients with new demands, and a shifting regulatory landscape. With that much uncertainty, the old model of just adding more doors looks incredibly risky. So if that's the old goal, what's the new one? Instead of focusing on doors under management, they focus on doors acquired, or at the very least add it to their skill set, because it's been proven to, make your service better, make it easier to sell, right? And it just continues to add to your wealth. Ed Kirch has a 300-door property management company. He owns 220 of them. He literally just uses his property management capacity to build his real estate portfolio. And he kind of just said it
the beginning of the podcast, he's like, yeah, landlords aren't fun to work for. I'd rather do it for myself. One is Tracy Strike out of Oklahoma City. He's been able to he's essentially inserted property acquisition into every difficult owner conversation. Tracy thinks, all right, let me have a conversation with this person and talk about, how maybe he could acquire the property for him.
But a new goal requires a new kind of company, one built not around tasks, but around trust. Stacy shared her vision for a future-proof, trust-based company.
She said if she were to do it, she would have a community builder, somebody that is a local touch point, that is, managing vendor relationships and client relationships and bringing people together and being seen. She would have a educator / marketer kind of person, a storyteller that would be in charge of, getting the message out of what they're doing. And she would have somebody that is a specialist in hard conversations, right? Like highly emotionally intelligent person that can bring calm to a tense moment. And everything else would be AI and technology, done by AI and technology. And the real sign of do I know what you're doing is, do I trust you? Do you have a sense of normalcy and consistency in the things that are consistent? Can you guide me through the difficult decisions, not just give me data and, show me a bunch of stuff and make me make a decision, but tell me what the best decision is to be made? And when I'm freaking out, can you calm me down?
That's the vision, an organization where nearly all of the administrative and transactional work is handled by technology, freeing up your human team to do what they do best: build relationships, tell your story, and navigate the difficult moments that define your value. But how do we make that vision a reality? The final piece of the puzzle is understanding how new technology is finally allowing us to solve the concrete problems that have plagued this industry for years. Problems we now have the data to prove.
Now let's shift the perspective to something that we recently saw. Same thing. Resident called in, their dryer was malfunctioning. She wanted to do laundry that night. She wasn't going to get home till 10 p.m. And as she is texting with Resolute, she's like, well, I'm not going to be home for 10 p.m. And Resolute's response, oh, no problem. I'll be here at 10. Just shoot me a text when you get home. And the person was like, oh my God, are you serious? You're going to really help me out at 10 p.m.? And the AI was like, yeah, of course. I'll be here for you. Right? So now start thinking about that effect down the line. What's that going to do to those days on repair? Do you think it's going to lower it from 6 to 3? I think there's a pretty good shot of that, right? So the bottom line is these things, these like agentic issues, nobody had a way to solve it before, right? We are finally now able to give our clients, right, our stakeholders, the owners and the residents, what they've always asked for. And we are just scratching the surface of that. These are just new capabilities that are the worst today than they'll ever been. So imagine getting on early right now, starting to do this, starting to build out your company like that. It's a major advantage to show up to the market like this.
There is a really nice window of opportunity to gain market share based on this messaging and based on giving clients what they actually want. Don't sleep on it. So there it is. The new Playbook isn't a distant dream. It's a present-day reality. For years, the gap between what our clients expected and what we could deliver felt impossible to bridge. We were caught in an invisibility trap, buried under tasks our clients never saw. But as we've heard, that's changing. The new Playbook uses AI, not just technology, and not just to make us more efficient, but to make us more capable. It allows us to build new business models, new company structures, and, for the first time, make new promises. The promise of an answer in minutes, not days. The promise of a truly customized service. The promise of being there for our residents, even at 10 p.m. at night. This isn't just about surviving the future. It's about building a better one and finally giving our clients the service they've always asked for.